Okay, everyone, I got Mr. Wade Simmons here, filmmaker and entrepreneur. How you doing, Wade?
Oh man, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Wade, I brought you on this segment known as "The Power Within You," where I bring guests to tell their side of the story, how they stay positive, how they don't let negativity like depression or anxiety, don't shadow on what they're doing in life just to keep moving forward. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Wade, just a question. How do you? What is your intake on staying positive?
Well, for me, like one of the things that helped me is like, instead of focusing on the negatives, I try to be more like a person that focus on the positive of life because like the way that I was raised, it's kind of a saying that I got from an older sister that, is from the church I grew up in, but she always said that if you look for faults, you will find. You know what I'm saying?
I get
So
it.
I learned that in life, like if you always focus on like what's going wrong and things like that, you'll often miss like the things that are going right.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you more about it. Do you ever let depression depression bring you down? How do you overcome it?
Also, for me, like man, to be truthful with you, like I do a lot of praying, I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of reading. So like for me, like whenever I feel down or whatever, one of the things that I would do, I normally write. I pray. I do a lot of reading, and most of the time, those are the things that work for me. You know.
Okay. And tell me more about your filmmaking career.
So I graduated from film school in 2020. I had enrolled in 2018, like 7 months after I had went to mortuary college. I went to mortuary college, and then I ended up spending pretty much about 2 years there, and then like right after that, like 7 months after trying to pass the exam or whatever, I had decided to go back to school. And so, I was looking at like a few things, like plumbing. I was looking into like working with animals, but I'm like, well, if I'm gonna go back to school for anything, I might as well do something that I actually enjoy too. So I chose film, and so I went to film school, enrolled, and then like right when I was in film school, I started producing my own shorts before I graduated. So I've been making films professionally now, what, for almost 4 years now.
Okay. So, that I really like because the entertainment industry is growing, and I myself I study communication design. I study just the digital style, digital design, digital marketing, but also the creative side, and trying to produce it any way as possible. Just get more attention, more audience, or recognition on what I'm trying to build. And hearing that about what you're doing, that's very awesome. That's very good. And sorry to be a snoop. I looked at your profile. I heard you got family. Work doing doing good stuff in on Fox, right? I mean NBC, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My cousin Kamarian Miller. Yeah, he's he's doing a lot of acting on Chicago shows. Yeah, yeah, I'm very proud of him. He's doing some really great things.
Do you give him some tips on what to do or what not to do?
Every now and then we talk because, like, we're both kind of busy. I mean, he's worked with me on some projects and everything, but for the most part, he's kind of doing this thing, and I'm proud of him. He's looking to like do like a lot of big Hollywood stuff. Me on the other hand, I'm more kind of like more of an indies type of guy.
Indy,
Yep.
can you describe that for me?
Yeah. So like in other words, like me, I'm the type of person with like like my cousin, he's doing like a lot of big things where he wants to like, be more like the Hollywood filmmaker, more acting, doing a lot of, whether it's plays or screenwriting and all that. As for me, I'm the guy that wants to be more like kind of the producer. And I know that like when you're dealing with the bigger Hollywood thing, you go through a lot kind of trying to get in the door and all that stuff. So like with me, I'm the type of person where like I look at it like I don't necessarily look for the opportunity. I am the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I want to build my own opportunities.
You want to build building your own opportunity. You can't just wait on it, because
Yeah,
to those like who study school and waiting for opportunity, like applying for millions of jobs and not getting one back, that's where you get down on yourself and like saying,
yeah,
did I make the right choice?
yeah,
Did something wrong or whatnot?
yeah, yeah. And see, like you took the words out of my mouth because I think one thing that I don't want people to forget is that for 11 years, since high school, I've worked in the funeral business. I mean, I've seen people go at 10. I've seen people go at 6. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, just like you said, like, one thing about life is like, when it comes to time, the things that you want in life, you have to make the most of the time that you give. You just said, you can't wait on anybody because tomorrow's not promised to anybody. It's a person that says, like, look, the time that you spend getting rejected and getting turned down, like you can spend that time, doing your own thing. Yeah, you might have to work a little bit harder, but I mean, on a bigger scale, at least you're in control of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
No, sorry, I get what you're saying. I really get what you're saying, because tomorrow's not promised. Some things that you wish you could have done, what might be too late. And another thing is this though. Excuse me again. The the only thing that's like you're wasting time is that if you don't find yourself, like who you are, who do you want to be? Because
Yeah,
if you're like di- twiddling your thumb and waiting for something to happen, or praying or wishing, and you're not doing anything, it will never happen.
yeah, man. I mean, man, you hit the nail on the head. And like I'm not gonna lie, man. Like back in 2019, I was hit with like one of the biggest realities because again, I worked in the funeral business for 11 years,
Mm-hmm.
but around 2019, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was 2018 or 2019, but I remember getting up early one morning and I got a text from one of the members of the church, and they texted me telling me that my pastor wife had went in for surgery, and next thing you know, she passed away. And then like around 2019, a friend of mine who was actually a film funeral director, actually licensed, young man that was actually, encouraging me not to give up and keep trying that test until I did get my license. Him and his wife had, they had been married for a year, but they decided to do like a big wedding in Seattle, and they invited like everybody, you know, to actually come to their big wedding. Everybody went down there, had a good time. 3 weeks later, on his way to work, died in a car accident. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And he was only 30 years old. And like I said, like when you look at things like that, like it makes you more aware because because time is something that we all sometimes take for granted. You know what I'm saying? But to be more aware and you become more realistic, you start to think about it like, okay, if God gives me today, what am I gonna do with today? I can't really worry about tomorrow, but what can I do today to kind of, get me to where I want to be?
Absolutely, absolutely. And life, time, like Father Time, is strange, and some things are unexpected, and another things are could be like life threatening because we don't
Yeah,
know what's gonna happen next. We just hope and pray that you, your loved ones, and even the things you got are all intact. And also, this is why I don't understand some people who got it kind of play around with it. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like when you get to your highest point, your highest level, some
yeah,
people tend to play around with it. Celebrities do that too, especially the young people. They play around with it, and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. Why? Because you fooled around, you fucked it up, you act like a fool, or you just you think that that one project that you had will be happily ever after, like because you didn't,
yeah,
yeah, because you didn't produce the next project, because
yeah,
the current project you have is not is gonna be talked about for like 3 or 6 months, and then all of a sudden people will forget about it.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, like you know that kid that made like that song, like me whip, like you nay nay. You know that song?
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not sure who that's by, but yeah, I've heard. Yeah,
Yeah. Where is he?
yeah. I'm not even sure.
Exactly. Because
Yeah,
his song went billions, and then all of a sudden he's not he just disappeared. Like who like who's that guy again? Is it, 'cause he didn't do the next big project.
well, I think one of the things is that like whenever you doing something, I think the thing about that is that as you've been saying that when once you start, you really gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get it, you get all the fame, you get all the money in the world. I still have to. You still have to stay active, like, cause one of the people that I really respect, I would say is Snoop Dogg, because I was listening to like a podcast a couple of weeks ago with Snoop Dogg, and they was asking him like, kind of like, what do you do? And well, he was like, he said, I work every day, because they asked him when was the last time he had a vacation, and most people be like, yeah, Snoop got a lot of money, or whatever, but his answer was that he said, man, a vacation. He said, I ain't had no vacation in a while. He said, because he works every day. And that might sound funny to a lot of people, but I think what people don't realize, you are passionate about what you're doing, and when you are enjoying what you're doing, and when you're trying to constantly, put out, entertain, live your dream, you have to keep going. Like you said, even if you are the number one movie, number one song, or whatever, you can't just stop with that one. It's constantly, networking with people, constantly promoting, constantly thinking of new ideas, constantly going back over, what you can do better, So it's never like you never really arrive. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep going.
You're absolutely right, and I think that you kind of like justify what I said because the rapper that I was telling you before was Salento, and he had some bad endings, but I hope that he you know built the next big thing. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll come around to it, because I know like like with artists and things like that. A lot of them have those moments where they'll do something and then kind of fall back. I mean, everybody's life is different. I mean, because we don't know the ins and outs of anybody's life. But again, like I said, for me, I realized that I don't care how much you go viral or whatever. Even if you look at a lot of the YouTubers, like
mhm.
you see a lot of them, they're constantly putting out content. They're not just, dropping one video and then go viral. Like
Yeah.
when you get there, you have to constantly stay active. And I really appreciate one of my teachers in film school, named Patrick Underwood, because like, I was telling him like, I got so many other things that I do outside of film. I'm like, I want to make a movie here and there, but like these were his exact words to me. He said, no, man. He said, once you get in this field, you have to stay active. And I took his advice, and and I haven't slept on it. Like, whether you get a lot of views or no views, like you have to stay active. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay active. There's no ands and buts about that.
No, you gotta stay active because you can't be in a zone known as a comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you start sleeping, everything you had or worked previously will go away.
Yep. Yeah. The comfort zone is definitely like a very dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous because again, like you said, time, you can't take it for granted because again, we think we have all the time in the world. Hopefully, God willing, we live to see old age and everything. But again, like tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Look, man, my uncle came up here, drove my grandmother them down to Alabama.
Right.
Came back on a Monday. He was only 50 years old. That Wednesday, he took my mom out to breakfast. He went to my auntie and uncle's house and, did some plumbing work for them. The day before he was supposed to go home that same Wednesday, he went to the city and just collapsed and died.
Oh my God.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the same day that he walked around and did everything, you know what I'm saying? So, I've been around those type of situations long enough to know, like, you can't waste time. You got to make the most of it. Like I tell people, I'm taking advantage of time before it take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I want to give you this one more question. What is your don't quit attitude?
Oh man, so my don't quit attitude is knowing this as a fact. Like, I'm not exempt from from things happening to me either. So while I have my health and strength, I want to do everything that I can do. I don't plan on stopping no time soon.
Respect. That's that's respect. You don't want to you won't stop. You can't stop. You want to keep going till let me tell you. Let me ask you something. What do you be at your retirement age?
Be honest with you, I don't ever plan on retiring. Believe it or not, the guy that I work for in the funeral business, I believe he just turned 85 years old. He works every day. I'm pretty sure he took vacations and stuff when he was younger, but now he don't even take no vacation. He dedicates his life just to sticking to his business and being there to serve the families. You know what I'm saying? And not only him, but there's a lot of funeral directors that I know that live to be, 86, 90 years old. I read a story about a lady was 100 years old, wasn't embalming. She's still working. So you see what I'm saying? Like, if you enjoy and love what you do,
Mm-hmm.
You do it as long as you can do it.
Okay, that's what's up. And your plan is like infinite.
Yeah.
Infinite, bro. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah, you look at Snoop Dogg. He's in his 50s and he's still rapping. Still going on, still going strong too.
And not just him. Jay-Z, I know he already built that.
Jay-Z. Yeah,
he already built that
Jay-Z.
empire.
Yeah,
He already
absolutely.
built that empire. And I don't know if it's true or not, but Kendrick, he's saying it's gonna be his last album because I know that he's been producing with his cousin Baby Keem. Son, the hard part 5 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro, and the visual that he did based on the people that he respected, like Will Smith, Nipsey, Kobe, and others.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he is king, and if he if he want to do his, and that's the only thing, he doesn't want nobody to like rush him, because he have not made any music on his own for like what 4 years.
I get it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's been working.
yeah,
He's been working all this time, and he doesn't have to tell people. He just let it shout out.
yeah.
Yeah, and I know his cousin gonna do the same thing. Like, Baby Keem was that Grammy son. That I'm gonna be his fan, though. I'm gonna be his fan and
Yeah,
support.
I mean, you look at James Earl Jones. I mean, he's in his 90s, and I mean, he still acts here and there. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Nah, I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, he was in Coming to America too. I mean, he did the Lion King remake. I mean, and I know Star Wars has their Kenobi series coming out. I'm pretty sure he might have did some voiceover work for Vader.
yeah, yeah. I get it. Uh, okay, wait. Listen, wait. I think that's the only question I got for you right now. Thank you again. Thank you again, man.
Oh man, thank you, man. I
Yeah.
had a lot of fun, man, and I appreciate you taking the time to even interview me, man. It means a lot.
No, it means a lot that you hit me up and being a fan of my work, and that is really very good, because I've been doing this podcast thing for 2 years. I don't know what's next is gonna be like, but I am working on other things, and also learning about your filmmaking thing. What is your brand known as again?
So my brand, I always tell people I'm a Hallmark style filmmaker. I like those cheesy, quirky movies, Yeah,
Okay,
fluffy love stories. Yeah.
okay. If you're on TikTok, I mean, you doing some shorts. That's the only place to be if you can.
Yeah, I've been, a lot of people been telling me. So what I plan on doing, God willing, I got two more. Well, I got one episode that I shot. I got to get a little more footage for that one, and then God willing, I plan on doing another episode that I call Love Through Creativity. So we'll be shooting that one in a few weeks, God willing. So I can't wait to get that off the ground. But after that, I plan on focusing more on Instagram stuff. And like I said, I always say God willing, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. But my hopes is to accomplish those things, and then to move more into Instagram a little bit.
Yeah, technology and also social media still is still growing, and a lot of new creators, they're gonna have a rough time, but if they keep on putting the work, it will bound to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And see, that's why you have to be on more than one platform. And then another thing, that it goes back to something Snoop Dogg said. You look at Snoop Dogg. Everybody know who Snoop Dogg is, but Snoop Dogg still promotes. And people have to understand that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been filmmaking for longer than I've been out, but the thing about it is that you have to promote yourself. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, some people pay their promoters. Some people, do everything through, other people. But me, I always say this: you are one of your own biggest fans. You have to promote yourself. Again, if Snoop Dogg is well known, he works every day promoting his brand. I mean, then if somebody as well known as him got to get up and promote, you got to realize you are your own biggest fan. You got to get up. You got to promote yourself. So, like I said, I work every day promoting, conversating with people. Don't get me wrong. Eventually, the audience will grow. I'm not too much worried about that. But the fact is, if you don't say nothing to people, they won't know that you're out there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get up and put yourself out there, nobody gonna know. You can't just, click a button and hope that it'll happen. Now, it does happen for some people, but if you want to stay relevant, if you want to stay on top of your game, you got to do the work. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I'm gonna keep that that quote, that message that you said in mind. Wade Simmons, thank you once again for being this part of the Power One podcast, man. And I hope you're doing magnificent work on your own. And shout out to your family to getting up in the entertainment industry. I hope that they get more opportunities than what they're doing right now. And if those of you that want to check out like the Chicago shows, like Chicago PD, Fire, and Med, which one of Wade's family members on. That show is fire. 100% dope. Check it out. Okay? Wade, thank you so much, man.
Thanks again. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Power of One podcast. And give out the shout out to my guests to share their belief of power to push to new heights and beyond. If you want to share your special power to motivate others, hit me up on social media, powerofones.com. If you want to be a guest on this show, let your word bring inspiration towards those that are in need of guidance. God bless, Godspeed, and remember, always keep moving forward.